What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? It is Wednesday, May 26th. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Have to start off the show with some important news here. One of our brothers, one of our OG low baggers, one of the most important people of the show needs our thoughts and prayers and love. Baby Briggsy, Matt Randall's son, is going for major surgery tomorrow. Mott's Children's Hospital tomorrow. Those of you who know Matt Randall started taint play today well, and his strong, incredible son, Briggsy. We went through this when he was just after he was born, and he had a mass in his stomach, and it was benign, but it was big surgery, for just a little guy, and he made it through, and now he's got to go back in. So we have a brother out there who needs our love and support and prayers. So there won't be a taint play today for a little while because more important things going on. So if everyone can reach out to Matt, let him know that he's got so much support and so much love. Reach out to him. Let him know that we're thinking about Big Briggsy. We know how tough and strong Briggsy is. And just get all the light and positivity out to our brother. And that is by far the most important thing going on. And that's why we have to start the show like this. So it's just the most important thing going on. So please send our man, Matty Randall, and Briggsy as much love and the whole Randall family as possible. Thank you guys for joining us. We got Ethan Payson in the house. We got JT, K-Paul, VIP, TJ, Dodgers team total over and -1.5 game through. They certainly did. The market moves were very interesting yesterday. I mean, it certainly felt like the market was telling us the Pirates were going to win at least that first five, and they got up 3-0 early, and it was a 3-run home run by Jock in the fifth. The cash for the Cubs. So it was I stayed off the Pirates, but I had a bad day in MLB. I'm angry. So we need to cap our way out of this. I'm at my low water mark for the season now in MLB. It's frustrating, but we have Trotwam making a special guest appearance in NBA. We have Mr. Gokster in NHL. There's Danny A, Tyrone Coleman in the house. K-Paul VIP. I wish I did. I was watching it very, very, very closely, and I did not. There's Mr. Gokster. He'll be joining us in NHL. Tron Hopkins in the house. Danny A, Von Polo. There's Turnsy ready to go. Nice. Truth got it back in NBA. Yeah, it wasn't our best work yesterday, Truth. Was not our best work yesterday. One thing that we can always promise you is honesty and accountability and transparency. Don't blow smoke. We'll go over my MLB record here in a second. It was rough. It was rough. There's Birdie in the house. Stan Lynch ready to go. North Ender, Dennis Trusty. Polo this, Polo that, Puzzler, Wesley Costas, JR, everybody sending love and prayers to Briggsy and to the Matt Randall family. And I will be, giving updates as they come in. But, it's tough times. But they will lead themselves. Briggsy and Matt will lead the family through all of this for sure. There's Naeem ready to get to work. Dommy Gun, great to see you, Dommy Gun. Hustle Wilson. All right. John saying yesterday left a bad taste in my mouth. Yes, it was rough. There's Nuke Worker. Great to see you coming to us from Darlington Nuclear. All right. Mr. Ghost says, tough day. Can't keep a good group of cappers away from the winner's circle for long. There's Ilya Katz ready to go. Anthony Davis. That was the gift that I didn't get on. 34 points for AD. Tough. All right. There's Akbar Saloev. Great to see you. Stan Lynch says Dodgers on a heater, won 8 in a row. Leroy Flood ready to get to work. Let's get to work right now. We have to move quickly here because we want to spend a little bit more time on NBA and NHL than we did yesterday. All right, let's go. And smart move, Tommy Gunn, with the Blue Jays yesterday. Steven Matz, New York boy, pitching in the Bronx, stepped up and upsetting. So yesterday was a train wreck for me in MLB. 2 wins, 6 losses. Down 5.35 units. And I started at A+ units barely, but now I'm in my low water mark. 117 wins, 106 losses, hitting at 52.5%, minus 4.81 units, ROI minus 2.16%, average line minus 112. The Rays double up and A's double up. Bad losses. I mean, well, they each lost by 1 run. But, man. Lewis, 2-run drive by Laureano that I thought was going to drop with 2 men on. And it was frustrating. Yankees -1 was a loss. Cleveland, Detroit, first 5 under 4.5 was a cash. Rangers plus 130 was a loss. Giants, first 5 -0.5 was a cash. There's K. Reed in the house. Great to see you, Kev. We have our horse racing show this evening. Razor Sharp Picks horse racing show, thoroughbred action tonight. I'll be jumping on as soon as I get the kids to bed around probably 9 o'clock, and I'll be hammering it till about midnight. A lot of late night horse action. We got Emerald Downs starting late and Canterbury. It's going to be a lot of fun, so join us then. All right. And, wow, Tommy Gunn is going to be at the Penn's Isles game tonight in Nassau. Ooh-wee. Okay, and Stan Lynch said, I had Dodgers easy 9-2 winner in front of over 34,000 fans. Nice to see fans back. Nice to see life coming back. Now let's get some cash. We'll start at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. And I meant to bet this already, but the first 5 hadn't come out yet, and I was waiting. It's now out. I wanted the first 5 -1. That was the only way I was going to be able to do that on the Twinkies. And even that, Jesus, even that's not a plus line. Maybe I should just take the -half of -140. We'll have to see what it is come bet time, but feels like the Twinkies are going to go on a roll, and the Orioles are not playing good baseball. Let's start with this game. We'll go in order. We're starting 1:10 p.m. Eastern. Orioles 17-31, 11-13 on the road. Twins 19-29, 10-15 at home. We're at Target Field in Minneapolis, Minnesota. 57 Fahrenheit clear, 12 miles per hour, sideways out to right. And there's Razor Sharp Pick says, what up, fellas? Delaware Park opening day. If you're around, hit me up. First beer on me, second, third, and fourth on you. Razor Sharp Picks going to be at Delaware opening day. That's very, very, very fun. Christian says, I like the bright shirt to contrast the gloomy Parkdale weather. Yes, it is gloomy today. Thank you, Christian. Okay, let's go. Jorge Lopez going up against Michael Pineda. And let's see what we are dealing with here from an odds perspective. Let's pull up the pitcher versus data. Pitcher versus batter. Did I say datter? What the hell's wrong with me? All right, let's get your head in the game. All right, let's go. Let's see what's happening here. All right, first off, we're going to go pitcher versus batter. Jorge Lopez against Jorge Lopez. The Twinkies are hitting .265 with an .818 OPS. Nelson Cruz 3 for 5 with 2 home runs. Miguel Sano 4 for 8 with 2 home runs. Only 2 batters for the Orioles have seen Pineda, and they're hitting, small sample size. They're 4 for 10. Franco has a homer. It's not as bad as it looks. Let's see what the odds have done, as I'm sure they've gone quickly in the Twinkies' direction. Let's go over here right now. Here we go. We have the Twinkies opening up at -186. They're now -190, a 4-cent move towards them, but a move towards the under, which often happens in these early games. You'll see the market move towards the under. It opened at over 9, -118 at Pinnacle. It's now under 9 at -118 at Pinnacle. And Turnsy says Isles close it up tonight. Man, Sorokin looking very strong. I'm looking forward to talk NHL. But right now, let's talk MLB. Jorge Lopez, 1-5, 6 ERA, 1.49 whip, 39 innings, 42 Ks, 16 walks, 8 home runs allowed. He's not looked good. In his last start, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and a 4-2 loss at Washington. And there's Dutch Boy Fresh in the house. Great to see you, Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutch Boy Fresh starring in our new NBA show, 4 p.m. Eastern, our new NBA show, Playoff Pub Hub, NBA edition, playoff Pub Hub. They're going 7 days a week, starring Dutch Boy Fresh, Ski Prophet, C-Mac, and Babano. It's an excellent show. Check it out. Every day, 4 p.m. Eastern. Last start for Lopez, he looked pretty good at Washington. Pineda, 2-2, 2.79 ERA, 1.01 whip, 38 and 2/3, 39 Ks, 10 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, 5 1/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and a 4-2 loss at the White Sox. The Orioles are hitting 219, 648 OPS versus righties. The Twins are hitting 240, 738 OPS versus righties, and that number's going up quickly. Still, it's tough to trust the Twins bullpen, but the Orioles bullpen is free falling. 4.45 ERA, 1.33 whip. They've converted 9 of 20 save opportunities, and they started the season very strong. Twins bullpen, 4.81 ERA, 1.43 whip, converted 9 of 18 save opportunities. Von Polo says, what do I have to do to get a show on this channel? Shake my head, man. Start making more guest spots on them, man. We'd love to have you. We'd love to have you, Von Polo. Robert Allen says, I was on the over in Baltimore versus Twins last night. The catch pretty easy tonight or today. Think it goes under. Wesley Costa says, I'm doing first 5 run line. Don't trust the Twins pen. I agree with that. And Dutchie says, might have to get a bottle. Looks like he'll be joining us for our horse racing show on Wednesdays. Wednesdays is the best night for me, weeknight, to have some adult beverages, because the Thursday card isn't quite as difficult, and I can get most of the work done during the day. And I have a very important phone call today at 2 p.m. with Lodels Loshak to cement everything. All right, let's keep rolling. I want the Twins first 5, but at what price is the question. Lopez looked pretty good in that last start at Washington. So at what price? Von Polo, you make it sound like you've been trying to get a show for a long time. So this is recent news for me. I'd love to have you on as much as possible. All you have to do is DM me. Okay. Fat Wally, what is happening? Okay. Let's get to work here. We move on to 2:10 p.m. Eastern. St. Louis Cardinals, 26-22, 11-12 on the road. Chicago White Sox, 28-19, 16-8 at home. Von Polo, you're an OG low bagger, man. We'd love to have you involved. We want to have you involved. We're at Guaranteed Rate Field in Chicago, Illinois. 77 Fahrenheit clear, 8 miles per hour, out to right center. John Gant, 3-3, 2.04 ERA, 1.56 whip, 39 and 2/3, 32 Ks, 28 walks. That K to walk ratio bad. 1 home run allowed this year. He's been strong. But the K to walk ratio, no good. In this last start, 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 0 home runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks, and a 5-2 win at home over the Pirates. Carlos Rodon, 5-1, 1.27 ERA, 0.80 whip, 42 and 2/3, 62 Ks, 12 walks, 2 home runs. In his last start, he went 6 innings, allowed 2 hits, no earned runs, 0 walks, 13 Ks. And I still pushed the first 5 and lost the full game. Yankees pulled a triple play in the 9th inning when had 2 runners on with no out. Cardinals versus righties, 227, 676 OPS. White Sox versus righties, 247, 722 OPS. Cardinals bullpen, 4.23 ERA, 1.39 whip, converted 16 of 18 save opportunities. White Sox bullpen, 3.81 ERA, 1.37 whip, converted 10 of 19 save opportunities. Viper says the total has gone under in 12 of St. Louis' last 17 games when playing the White Sox. David Sharp says, I'm on Cardinals' first 5, team total over 1.5. Cardinals are number 2, OPS versus left-handed pitching. Low number because of Rodon. Danny 8 taking the Sox minus 1.5. Stan Lynch leaning Cards, White Sox under 8.5. Robert Allen says, yes, Yankees triple play was sick. Attaboy, Polo this, Polo that. Great job cashing on the Nets last night. The only thing I did well there was tailing Dennis Garcia on the Nets to sweep. Because what that will create, if the Nets win game 3, it will be a real easy hedge if I want. But I only put 150 on it, so there'll be no reason really to do that. What's the cost? Like Sox here, Gant due for regression. StatCast doesn't like him. ERA is 2.04, but xERA 5.02. Exit velocity in the 16th percentile. White Sox crush him. And why do I have righties numbers? Sorry, that's my fault. Of course, Carlos Rodon is a lefty. Of course, he's a lefty. My fault. That's a mistake. God, my fault. let's just go over very quickly to what the Cardinals are doing to lefties. Second OPS is what we just heard from David Sharp. Let's just pull it up right now real quickly, and I apologize for that. Here we go. Versus lefties. And the Cardinals, wow, 269, 808 OPS. 269, 808 OPS. Wow, they get the lefties. Carlos Rodon has had a bit of a tendency to have incredible start, average start so far this year. There's Vitalis in the house. Puzzler just took White Sox first 5 under 4.5 at -105. Anthony, you were right. Oh, my God. Anthony, of course. I forgot about this call. Nets -19.5 at +275. Sheer brilliance, Anthony. That was a spectacular bet, man. Respect. Stan Lynch looking at Abreu for the White Sox for hitting props. Let's take a look against Gant. Only 3 batters have faced him, 143, 437 OPS. And against Rodon, only 4 batters have faced him, 267, 686 OPS. David Sharp says, I've cashed the first 5 team total last 3 times this left-handed pitch hitter with the Cardinals, and it's 1.5 -130. That makes a ton of sense. Yeah, Anthony, that was a brilliant play. And then the Cardinals bullpen 4.23 ERA, 1.39 WHIP converted 16 of 18. White Sox bullpen 3.81 ERA, 1.37 WHIP converted 10 of 19. Wesley Costas on White Sox run line -1.5 and -105. I'm going to stay off this spot. Rodon coming off that spectacular start at Yankee Stadium comes home to face a Cardinals team that's hitting lefties hard. I don't trust Gant. So I'm not going to move on Cardinals, White Sox. I stayed off it yesterday, and everything surprised me. All right. And Wyatt Chapman says, sprinkle some pizza money on Wizards money line. Thank me later, and God bless. Respect, Wyatt. Respect. All right, let's move on to 3:37 p.m. Next up, Seattle Mariners 23-26, 11-14 on the road at the Oakland A's, 28-22, 14-15 at home. We're at Oakland Coliseum in Oakland, California. 61 Fahrenheit clear, 7 miles per hour out straightaway center, and it's a bullpen day for the Mariners. They have Robert Duggar on the mound, 0-0, 4.15 ERA, 1.15 WHIP, 13 innings, 15 Ks, 3 walks, 2 home runs. In his last appearance, he has opened once this year. It was 3 appearances ago. In his last appearance, he went an inning, and he got hit hard. A home run, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 2 Ks, 9 losses to the Padres. We have Caprillion, the rookie, on the bump for the A's, 2.53 ERA, 1.13 WHIP. In his last start, he allowed 2 solo shots, but he looked pretty good against an Angels team that's hitting the ball pretty hard, even without Trout in the lineup. 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 9 Ks. Mariners hitting just 202, 643 OPS versus righties. A's are hitting 218, 702 OPS versus righties. Mariners bullpen 4.02 ERA, 1.22 WHIP. They're slipping. They had a great start to the year, and they're slipping. A's bullpen 4.08 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, converted 12 of 17 save opportunities. Vibe says the total's gone over in 7 of Oakland's last 10 games. I want the A's here to get my money back from yesterday. Caprillion has seen these Mariners, which should help the Mariners. 1 for 3 against them. Seager, Crawford, and France. But I want these A's. Stanley says Seattle 4-2 and 4-3 in the first 2 games. Yes, it's been low-scoring starts. Let's see the market move here. We have Oakland opening up at -175. They're now -166. And this total opened up at 9. It's now at 8.5. Wesley Costas, A's, M's always a crapshoot. Can't do anything except totals here. Maybe lean under because day game in Oakland, but pass. I think that this is a tired Mariners bullpen. And now it's a bullpen day. The bullpen was very good yesterday and had to be. I think the A's can get after this. I'm going to back them on the -1 line. I expect it. Let's just see what that -1 line is very quickly before I state my plan. Here we go. A's. Yeah, I'm going to move on the A's on the -1 line and get my money back. And Dom Reach says, I don't buy this advanced analytic crap. Gant, 39 innings pitched, 1 home run allowed, 2.04 ERA. Doubt the White Sox sweep them. Robin Allen says, I'm with you, Jimmy, with the A's. Need to get my money back today. And I think they do. So I was on them last night. Wyatt says, where's your son? Did you put him in timeout? No, he's all good. We have, I live in Parkdale, which is for Toronto. It's it's not expensive housing. So we have an apartment here on the 8th floor. We also have an apartment on the 5th floor. That's how I do. You can put me in a poor community, but at least I'll ball out in that poor community. All right. Paul C says you're rocking the A's colors today, Jimmy. Shoot the J. Thank you, Paul C. That is exactly what I will do. Paulie D says, easy choice. You're in Oakland gear, bro. Let's do it. All right, I'm on the A's. I'm getting my money back. Getting my money back. Nilo says it's an up-and-coming neighborhood. See, that's what a realtor does. He puts a nice spin on it. Thank you, Nilo. All right. Move on to 407. Nilo said the 5th floor is to be. He's only your realtor for a few minutes, and then he's back to a comic. 5th floor used to be a glory hole spot. All right. Renee says second apartment for stashing goods. Okay. Let's go. Rangers, Angels. Rangers 22 and 28, 9 and 15 on the road. Angels 21 and 27, 12 and 14 at home. We're Angel Stadium, Anaheim, California. 75 Fahrenheit. David Sharp says, are you following your heart? That's a no. Don't ever chase yesterday's money, my man. No, the key move here is I think this is a tired bullpen that's just like the Orioles, not quite as bad, but got off to a great start to the season that surprised us all and is now coming back to earth. They were very good in this series. They've been heavily used in this series, and now it's a bullpen day for them. And I think the A's, who can hit both righties and lefties and don't have one, side that they attack really that much better than the other, can get to the bullpen. And I'm angry. So both can happen. Okay. Dunning up against Canning. Dane Dunning, 2 and 3, 3.74 ERA, 1.34 whip, 43 in the third, 48 Ks, 14 walks, 2 home runs allowed. In his last start, he looked good at home versus the Yankees. It was in that no-hitter spot. God, I say no-hitter, and I just get these horrific flashbacks from the Yankees game yesterday that I was so confident in. But yeah, it was Dunning against Kluber in that start when Kluber would no-hit him. And Dunning also had a really good start. 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks, 2-0 loss home versus the Yankees. Griffin Canning, 3 and 3, 5.56 ERA, 1.50 whip, 34 innings, 38 Ks, 16 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he got shelled at home to the Twinkies. He went 2 innings, allowed 3 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, 4 walks. Dommy Gunn says, Oakland has such a bad record at home versus AL West. I like this over 8.5. Dommy is on Texas. We haven't gone there yet, Jared. We will be going there very, very soon. Stan Lynch says 11 miles per hour wind blowing out in Anaheim. What do I have? Yeah, I have 11 miles out to left center. He says over 8.5 for him in Canning, Dunning. And Dunning coming off a nice start. Rangers versus righties, 231, 693 OPS. Angels versus righties, 254, 736 OPS. Now, do we have any concern that Ohtani might rest before he starts? Because doesn't he start on Thursday? Last thing you want to do is be on an over and not have Ohtani in the lineup. I need to double-check that. Somebody should double-check that right now. Rangers bullpen, 4.16 ERA, 1.35 whip, converted 12 of 18. Angels bullpen has been looking a little better of late, but still weak. 4.88 ERA, 1.44 whip, converted 10 of 19 save opportunities. Wait, okay. There we go. DJ Big Boss in the house. Nice to see you. Says Angels over is the trend for me. Wesley Costa says I like Dunning, don't like Canning. Maybe some value in Rangers, especially if Ohtani doesn't play, but pass. And Robert Allen does not agree on backing these Texas Rangers. Says calls them downright awful, but they're 22 and 28. All right, let's go to baseball data, see what we're dealing with here. Against Dunning, 10 at-bats against them, 4 hits. all singles. And against Canning, 7 for 25 with the double, a triple, and a homer. They're hitting 280 with 960 OPS. There's Christopher Carter in the house. Puzzler says Roto has Ohtani expected DH. And we have Ohtani expected to start tomorrow, I believe. Let's just confirm he's expected to start tomorrow. I mean, they need him in the lineup without Trout. There's no doubt about that. But let's just jump over there very quickly and see if that is the expectation. Because for some reason, I feel like he might be pushed back till Friday. Let's just move over here to this Angels game tomorrow. And yes, it's Cobb Thursday. So they didn't. I remember hearing they pushed him back a day. So I think he was expected to go Thursday. They moved him back to Friday. And there he is starting Friday. So he'll be in the lineup today for sure. And Wesley Costa says 1 p.m. local start. I can't bet overs that early. Viper says Total's gone over in 4 of Texas' last 5 games when playing on the road against the Angels. Dunning's been pretty good. Do we take the plus line? But that was just a quiet game offensively in his last start. And we saw Kluber get rocked in his next out. Well, the same thing happened to Dunning. All right, I have a lean towards the Rangers first 5. A small lean. Let's just see what that would be. What I would get here at Bet365 on the Rangers first 5. Oh, my God. They're favorites. They're favorites with Dunning. Well, I do not want the Rangers at minus 125. So I'm taking that off, even if that is what the market is telling me to bet. I'm off of that. I'm not going to take the Rangers as this big of a favorite. All right, we move on to 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Chicago Cubs 25-22, 9-13 on the road at the Pittsburgh Pirates, 18-29, 8-12 at home. PNC Park in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 74 Fahrenheit, light rain, 12 miles per hour, sideways out to left. Trevor Williams, 2-2, 5.97 ERA, 1.78 WHIP, 37 2/3, 42 Ks, 20 walks, 8 home runs. Renee Tato is saying, where's the taint, Jimmy? For those of you who missed the opening of the show, our man and one of the stars of the show, and OG Lowbagger, Matt Randall, his son is getting surgery at Children's Hospital, major surgery tomorrow. His son, Briggsy. And so he's leading his family through that. And if we could send the Randall family as much love and prayers and positivity and strength and light and everything good in the world, if we could send that over to Matt Randall and his family through these tough times. So please send as much love over to their family and to Matt as possible. All right, Trevor Williams, 2-2, 5.97 ERA, 1.78 WHIP, 37 2/3, 42 Ks, 20 walks, and 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 4 2/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs allowed. There were solo shots, 2 walks, 5 Ks, and a 5-2 loss at home to the Nationals. And thank you for sending the love over to Matty Ice. We have a brother who needs it, needs the love and the strength right now. And I know that he will lead his family through this, and I know that Briggsy is so tough. We watched him have surgery as a baby, and I know that he's going to get through this. Stanley says was leaning over 8.5 in Cubs, Pirates, but rain a bit of a concern. Yeah, absolutely. Trevor Williams just looks so vulnerable. Will Crow 0-2, 4.91 ERA, 1.48 WHIP, 25 2/3, 24 Ks, 13 walks, 4 home runs allowed. In that last start against these very Cubs, he went 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 2 home runs, 3 walks, 7 Ks, and a 6-4 win at the Braves. You know, it feels like both of these pitchers are vulnerable. Let's take a look at the market move and then take a look at baseball data. But let's go market move first. In this Cubby spot for full game, we have this total originally juiced to the over 8.5. It's now juiced to the under 8.5. Now, both bullpens are so good. So you could see, and that's what happened in last night's game too. It was 4-3 after 5, and it went under. The first 5, though, is moved to the over, and that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me. Let's just see this pitcher versus batter. The Cubbies are hitting .382 with an .833 OPS against Williams. So they're 13 of 34, but just one extra base hit, a double. Against Will Crow, .263, .638 OPS. But the Cubbies are hitting hard right now. And, yeah, I have 12 miles per hour. Stanlich has 13 miles per hour out. I'm going to move on this first 5 over 4.5 in Cubbies Pirates. All right, let's move on to 6:40 p.m. Eastern. We have Trotwam joining us for NBA, and we have Mr. Gokster joining us for NHL. So let's keep rolling. There's CT Bays in the house. 6:40 p.m. Eastern. Philadelphia Phillies 24-25, 9-15 on the road at Miami Marlins 23-25, 11-11 at home. We're at Lone Depot Park in Miami, Florida. I expect the roof to be closed, but that's just an expectation. I have such a tough time getting that information in the morning. Aaron Nola, 3-4, 3.94 ERA, 1.13 whip, 59 in the third, 70 Ks, 10 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he got hit. He's been getting hit in his last few starts. Feels like people are starting to be able to hit his changeup for the first time. 5 innings, 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 home run, 1 walk, 9 Ks, and 11-3 loss at home to the Red Sox. Do we now know who the Marlins are pitching? And we don't. We still don't, so there's no market on this game. Robert Allen says Philly's about to go on a little win streak. I feel in my gut. No, Paco, he's with his family, and they're preparing to head over to Mott Children's Hospital. So no, he's not in the chat right now, and he won't be for the next little while. All right. Nilo says, with the rain today, pigeons will be bothering Jimmy very soon. Yes, if I hear a pigeon, I'm going to lose my shit. I'm not in the mood. You know what I'm in the mood for? As soon as we can get Trotwam on screen and see his big smile and his positivity and cap some NBA, I think I'll get out of this. But I am thankful to be capping with you guys right now. We don't know who the pitcher is for the Marlins, so let's move on. Next up, Cincinnati Reds at Washington Nationals, 7:05 p.m. Eastern. And Paco Healy saying we should send a care package. That's a great idea, Paco. Cincinnati Reds, 21-25, 10-12 on the road at the Washington Nationals, 20-24, 12-11 at home. And we have the Dirty K prop, 25-10 on the year. Mike Minor, over 6.5 Ks. Hit the number in 3 straight games, pitching really well as of late. Going versus Rays, who are top 2 in strikeout percentage to left-handed pitching. Absolutely, Paco. And Domi wants into, let's get a group of us in on that. That's a great idea, Paco. Thank you for your leadership. Okay, Reds, Nats, Nationals Park, Washington, D.C., 80 Fahrenheit rain. We have rain, 8 miles per hour, out to left center. Let's see if there's an expectation that this game will go on. See if this game will go on here. And do we expect this game to play? Yes. 14% chance of rain now. Okay. And we have a confirmed lineup as well. Suarez, Winker, Castellanos, Naquin, Stevenson, Barnhart, Farmer, India, and then Hoffman pitching. Already a confirmed lineup. Okay. What up, MMA Locker Room? Respect, my friend. Let's work. And Wesley Costa says, mental note from last night, bet the under in Jersey games. He gets no support. Yeah. It was a nice day off of me of the Nationals, and I talked about the situation, but God, I wish I had jumped on Molly. Hoffman, 3-3, 4.31 ERA, 1.46 whip, 39 and 2/3, 39 Ks, 22 walks, 4 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 2 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 4 walks, 7 Ks, 9-4 loss at home to the Brewers. There's Kev Riley in the house. I love it, Kev. Keep eating. Joe Ross on the other side, 2-4, 5.72 ERA, 1.47 whip, 39 and 30, 36 Ks, 18 walks, 9 home runs. He's a strange pitcher to watch. At times he looks unhittable, and that can change real quickly with this guy. He got hit hard at the Cubs last start. 3 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, just 2 earned. 1 home run, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Reds smashed righties, but they didn't get to Scherzer. I'm sure they're going to find Joe Ross easier. 255, 774 OPS. Nationals versus righties, 250, 707 OPS. A nice average, but low power. Reds bullpen, 5.36 ERA, 1.34 whip. converted 8 to 15 save opportunities. Garrett got off to a terrible start. I do expect this bullpen to get better as days go on. Nats bullpen 3.74 ERA, 1.23 whip, converted 7 of 10 save opportunities. Let's go to baseball data here. Against Hoffman, they're hitting 282 with a 736 OPS. So small sample size, 39 at-bats. But Bell, 4 for 6 against them. Soto, 2 for 5. And Trey Turner, 2 for 6. Against Joe Ross, 391 with a 1.049 OPS, 9 for 23. Castellanos, 3 for 5 with a homer. Winker, 2 for 3. Stan Lynch says Ross has another crap start. He might get dumped from this rotation. Let's take a look at the market moves here. And we have that first half at 5.5. And interestingly enough, that first half, the first 5 has been juiced to the under after being opening at juiced to the over. Let's take a look at full game here. Opening up at 9.5, now at 10 right across the board. Nationals and Ross open up at minus 125. They're now at minus 138. So a 13-cent move towards Ross and the Nationals. I'm down, Wyatt. I'll copy and paste that right now. I'm interested, Wyatt. I am interested. It feels like the market's telling us that Ross is going to have a nice start against these Reds. I think Hoffman's vulnerable, even though I don't really have the stats to prove that. I think that the more I talk about this game, the more I think I'm probably guessing. And if that first 5.5 is being moved to the under, I think I maybe stay off. Yeah. I guess I'm going to have to stay off. Polo this, polo that, took Cincy plus 1.5 and the under 9.5. Parlay that at plus 210. Same game parlays. All right, that's going to be a stay off. Let's move to a game we're very excited about up here in the 6th, and that's the Toronto Blue Jays at New York Yankees. 24-23 Jays, 14-12 on the road. Yankees 28-20, 14-10 at home. We're in the Bronx. 81 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 12 miles per hour to left center, and we get to see Alek Manoah. Alek Manoah, man, he's been the talk of the farm system this year, and I know we're only May 26th, but he's looked unbelievable in Buffalo. 23-year-old, 11th overall pick in the 2019 draft out of West Virginia University. He's the 5th-ranked prospect in the Blue Jays system, and he started 3 games in AAA Buffalo this year. And in those 3 games, 17 innings, 27 strikeouts and 3 walks. 1 home run allowed, 5 earned runs, 3-0. Manoah said, or Paul C says Manoah first career MLB start in Yankee Stadium with the Yanks off a loss. Huge ask. No question about it. No question about it. And he's going up against Domingo Germán, who has been lights out so far this year. Anthony says Yankees shell him. Very possible. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be lights out. Germán, 4-2, 3.05 ERA, 1.11 whip, 44 in the third, 42 Ks, 8 walks, 7 home runs. In his last start, he looked great at Texas. 7 innings, 6 hits, 0 runs, 0 walks, 5 Ks, in a 2-0 win there at Texas. Blue Jays versus righties, 254, 753 OPS. Yankees versus righties, 225, 699 OPS. Look, this isn't the vaunted Yankees lineup of old. Look at those numbers against righties. I mean, aren't we so used to seeing an 800 OPS with them against righties? We're not seeing that right now. Jays bullpen is tired. They're good, but they're tired. 3.59 ERA, 1.27 whip, converted 9 of 15 save opportunities. Yankees bullpen being excellent all year. 3 ERA, 1.07 whip, converted 14 of 17 save opportunities. Wesley Costa says Manoah lights out in AAA. Also struck out 7 Yankees in a row in spring training. Leading first 5 under 5 here. David Sharp says Jays have great numbers versus Germán. This may be a sneaky Jay spot. Johnny K liking the Jays. Mills says, I'm on my Yankees. Germán is on fire. Don't overthink it. Krishan got the Jays first 5 at plus 139. It's now moved to plus 124. Well, let's start with the numbers against Germán. 293, 862 OPS. So 17 to 58, 5 doubles, 3 home runs in the 17 hits. I do think Germán is a stronger pitcher right now than the past, so we shouldn't fully dive into those or maybe fully trust those numbers. let's go to the odds market here in this Herman Yankees Blue Jays start. Oh, this is going to be a fun game. And the total's moved up. It opened at 9. It's now at 9.5. Interesting. Herman opening up at minus 161, now at minus 141. A 20-cent move towards the Jays. Wow, so the full game's gone from 9 to 9.5. Let's see what this first half has done. First half, let's go to Bookmaker and look at their market moves here on this first half. Nothing. It opened at 5 at minus 115 to the over, and there's been no moves. Huh. Wyatt Chapman says, what's your favorite spot so far for the early games? My favorite spot so far for the early games is attacking the Mariners bullpen, which I think has been faltering. And they've been very good the last 2 games. Let's just pull it up right now again. I wish I could. Okay, we're going to just take a closer look at this Mariners bullpen. We got to move faster than I'm moving here, unfortunately. See if I have any legitimate statistical. Okay, here we go. The Mariners bullpen now is a 4.02 ERA, and they've been so good this year, and they've been getting hit of late. Have they, though? Why don't we go to the last 7 days? Now, remember, they've had 2 really good games in a row. In the last 7 days, the Mariners bullpen is 28th in the league with a 7.29 ERA, allowing opponents to hit 279 off them with a 1.69 whip. That's what I want. I want to attack this Mariners bullpen. And now those stats, imagine that with 2 good games in a row. Slats 45 says this kid is cocky and confident. That's what you want for Yanks who haven't seen him. Yes, I listened to an interview of him too, and I would say confident. I didn't really feel like he was that cocky. I guess there's a negative connotation to cocky, and I really liked him in his interview. And Montoya kept saying over and over again right after him that he earned it. Yes, Wyatt Chapman. I'm coming off of 2 and 6 days, and I'm now down units on the year. I'm my low water mark of the season at down 4.81 units, but it's my VIG. It's minus 112. I'm 117 and 106. But yes, I'm going to take the A's. All right, we've got to move on here. I think Stan Lynch says Vladdy Guerrero, 19 and 45, 8 home runs, 15 RBIs over his last 11 games. It's tricky here. Wesley Costa says, I'll be watching. So will I. Robbie Allen says 1 run in 18 innings. He's a stud. He doesn't have 1 run, 1 home run in 18 innings. He's allowed 5 earned runs in 17 innings, but 27 Ks, 3 walks. I think he's going to be ready to pitch. I have interest in the first 5 under, but I have interest in the first 5 under. Thick Dick McGee says you have to be cocky to succeed in any endeavor. Thick Dick McGee gets it, man. That's why he's got that thick dick. You don't hear small cock Magoo say something like that. No, Thick Dick McGee. He knows you need to have some cockiness to succeed in any endeavor. All right. Slat says, not sure if I'm betting this game, but I will be watching. All right. Stan Lynch says, might just play the Yankees under 9.5. Okay, let's move on. 7:10 p.m. is next. Braves, Red Sox. I stayed off of this total yesterday. I know a lot of us were on the over, and I think a lot of people will go right back to it. And understandably so. And this market's moved heavy to the over in the Braves game. Let's move over to full game here. Full game, money lines and totals. And I need to speed up here. Smiley Pavetta, this total's gone up a full run from the Pinnacle opener, 9.5 to 10.5. And money's pouring in on the Red Sox. Jeez, look at that. Pinnacle opens it at a pick 'em, minus 104 on each side yesterday at 3:34 p.m. Now the Red Sox are minus 137 and the Braves are plus 126. Wow. All right, we are in Fenway Park in Boston. 77 Fahrenheit clear, 14 miles per hour out to left center. It's Drew Smiley, 2-2, 5.11 ERA, 1.32 whip, 37 innings, 33 Ks, 13 walks, and 11 home runs in his last start. He got hit by the Pirates, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, 1 walk, 7 Ks, and a 6-4 extra inning loss at Pittsburgh. Nick Pivetta, 5-0, 3.59 ERA, 1.24 whip, 47 2/3, 50 Ks, 24 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, allowed 7 hits, 4 earned runs, 0 home runs, 2 walks, 8 Ks, and 8-7 win at Toronto. Both teams hit the opposite side. Braves versus righties, 232, 751 OPS. Red Sox versus lefties, 275, 765 OPS. There's Brian Watson in the house. What up, Brian? Bullpen. Braves bullpen, 4.56 ERA, 1.47 whip, converted 9-17 save opportunities. That bullpen is getting better and expected to continue to improve. They started off awful. Red Sox bullpen, 3.60 ERA, 1.31 whip. They've converted 14 of 21 save opportunities. David Trump says, I was on it yesterday and I have to stay off today. It is what it is, but Braves have seen Pivetta a lot when he was in Philadelphia. Red Sox smash lefties. Just has me off. I see the over. Why don't we take a look at batter versus pitcher here? We know there's been a huge market move. We're probably late to the party. Smiley, 158, 589 OPS versus these Red Sox. Wow. Bogart's 4 for 19. JD Martinez 0 for 7. Those are some surprising numbers. Pivetta 266, 732 OPS. 41 of 154. Wow, they've seen a ton of Pivetta. And there's been this huge market move towards the Red Sox. K-Paul VIP, Braves team total over 4.5. Makes a ton of sense to me. But why is this huge market move? Yes, I think the Red Sox are a better team than we expected them to be. I don't think what's their record right now? 29-20. No, I don't think they're going to play the, 600 winning percentage, but Jarek White is on the over 10.5. Jarek White, you got to get on these market moves early. I'm not saying that you won't cash it, but this opened at 9.5. Weston Cost says, why? Because Red Sox don't lose when Pivetta pitches. Let's check out that team total from K-Paul VIP. You had an easy cash on the Orioles. Well, it wasn't easy. He got it in the 8th inning, but had a cash on the Orioles yesterday that I was watching very closely because I did not move on it. Here we go. Team totals at Bet365 for Braves 4.5 and -135. Skins fan forever. What's happening? Thank you for joining us. Stanley says Pivetta only American League started with 5 or more wins and no losses. And Nikolai Jabinski on Orioles Astros moneyline parlay plus 508. Johnny K liking Braves -1.5. So do I, but I'm not going to go up against this market move. I'm not going up against this market move. I'll just be a very curious viewer. Move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. Cleveland Indians at Detroit Tigers. Comerica Park at Detroit, Michigan. 78 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy. 14 miles per hour out to left center. K-Paul got it at plus 115 this morning. What a brilliant move, K-Paul. Beautiful. Great work. That's it. That's beating a market. That's smashing a market move. All right, we're in Comerica Park in Detroit, Michigan. 14 miles per hour out to left center is the win, and Tristan McKenzie has looked bad. We know he's got great stuff, but it takes a lot more than that. Stan Lynch also mentioning that Ozuna injured yesterday. Tristan McKenzie, 1-3, 6.89 ERA, 1.69 whip, 31 1/3, 44 Ks, 30 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 3 1/3, 2 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 home run, 5 walks, 4 Ks, and a 10-0 loss at home to the Twinkies. Jose Urena on the other side. 2-4, 4.62 ERA, 1.48 whip, 48 2/3, 33 Ks, 19 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, I faded him. I doubled up on Mike Minor, first 5 full game, and lost both bets. Urena didn't pitch that well. In fact, he pitched poorly. I don't know how I didn't catch it. 6 innings, 10 hits, 5 earned runs, 1 home run, 0 walks, 1 K. 7-5 win at the Royals. Indians versus righties, 217, 675 OPS. Tigers versus righties, 233, 681 OPS. And again, the Indians bullpen so strong. 2.67 ERA, 1.19 whip, converted 16 of 18 save opportunities. Robert Cherry, what is happening? And Vital saying Pivetta in pitching first 5 of the season, 6.12, 85.7%. Nice work, Kev. Stan Lynch on this Indians Tigers over 9. Let's go to baseball data and then look at the market move here. McKenzie against them, they're 7 for 25 with 2 hits. With 2 doubles and a homer. 280, 788 OPS. Against Urena, 253 with a 771 OPS. 19 of 75. All right, let's take a look at the market moves. For these market moves. This is a tricky spot. I find the Tigers tricky. Open at 9.5, the total, and it's now down to 9 at most books. The books that are hanging 9.5 will come and join them. They've cut it down a half run. And McKenzie's gone from -120 to -122. Urena does not look good. But can we trust Tristan McKenzie? We can't. Vital says Urena first 5 this season 1-6-2, hitting at 14.3%. Can we trust Tristan McKenzie? And we can't. That's the answer. I can't. I'd love to bet the Indians here, but I simply can't. He's looked so bad in his last few starts. If I had a free play, I'd be on Indians for sure. Vital says after Urena, you have the worst bullpen in MLB. Arthur Meade Jr. on Cleveland team total over. Stan Lynch says may double up here. First 5 over and full game over. God, when is Tristan McKenzie going to get right? Is this where he gets right? Feels like a very small amount to pay. Let's just go back to this market move one more time. So they open up -120. They're now -122. And first five, which we wouldn't bother with. Why would I even look at first 5? Because you want to attack that bullpen. So very interesting. This full game total has gone from 9.5 to 9, but the first 5 total has gone from 5 to 5.5. LCS is Indians' first 5 run line. Just feels like we want to get to that bullpen. Although I like Fulmer closing. All right, I have a lean towards the Indians full game. Let's just see what I get them at here. Cleveland Indians. Sorry, we're going to move to Cleveland Indians full game. Get a +100 on the -1 line. There's Brandon Lugo. David Sharp says, don't try and predict when someone is going to turn it around. Ride him after he shows some promise. Very good point. Pull this, pull that, sees runs. All right. I don't know how the Urena got out of all the messes he put himself in against the Royals. But the Indians are not a tougher lineup. Okay, let's move on to 7:10 p.m. Eastern. We have Colorado Rockies 19-30, 3-18 on the road at the New York Mets, 22-20, 12-5 at home. Arthur Meade Jr. took Cleveland -125. Vital says McKenzie hard contact rate 400. Says yikes. Says if you take an Indians, take them full game. All right, we're in Queens. 78 Fahrenheit, 13 miles per hour out to straightaway center for Rockies Mets. Herman Marquez. 3-4, 4.82 ERA, 1.59 WHIP, 52 and third, 56 Ks, 30 walks, 5 home runs. In his last start, it was at home versus Arizona, and he looked great. 7 innings, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 3 walks, 8 Ks, and a 7-1 win at home. Stroman, 3-4, 2.75 ERA, 1.07 WHIP, 52 and third, 43 Ks, 11 walks, 6 home runs. He looked good in his last start. Quality start, 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, 6.5 extra inning win at the Marlins. Rockies versus righties, 225, 663 OPS. Mets versus righties, 226, 643 OPS. Rockies bullpen atrocious, 5.46 ERA, 1.59 WHIP, covered to 7 of 15. Mets bullpen 3.52 ERA, 1.29 WHIP, covered to 11 of 17. Tommy Gunn says showers tonight at City. Keep that in mind. Let's see what RotoWire has here for this Mets spot. They have 4% rain, Tommy. 4% rain. Vital says, I like Stroman. He's switching his timing on the mound. he sucks to bat against. Kevin Riley says take the Mets at minus 130. Let's check baseball data. Joseph Gomez on the Mets first 5. Herman Marquez 220, 687 OPS against these Mets batters. And then the Rockies and Stroman, they're hitting 182, 442 against Stroman. Robin Allen says Mets money line is a great bet today. And Domi says I'll take the over 4%. Domi, you're on the ground. You got your feet on the ground. I trust you. Let's take a look at this lineup for the Mets. Pretty weak on the back end. VR, Lindor, it's just weak all around. I mean, you got Lindor batting second and Dom Smith batting fourth, but Maben batting third, James McCann fifth, Khalil Lee, Jose Peraza. How is this not a massive pitcher's duel? Let's take a look at the market move here. Rockies, Mets. This total's at 6.5. By the way, Stroman opened up at minus 125. He's now minus 132, so a 7-cent move towards him. Okay, let's just take a look at first 5. Feels like these guys can get these guys out. How low is it? Wow, and it opened at 3 and went to 3.5. Interesting. Pinnacle opened this at 3, and it's now at 3.5. So, Tommy Gunn says Mets have been a mash unit and keep winning. Okay, no move for me here in Rockies Mets. Robert Cherry on Mets first 5 minus a half at plus 118. Okay, we move to 7:10 p.m. Eastern, and we arrive at my son Jose's Say Hey play of the day. No stickers to give out yesterday. And look, I want my son to succeed. He's not been doing that, but it's very early. It's very early, and there's no reason right now to lay on the pressure. He better get his fucking shit together or this whole fucking thing is over. Please welcome to the show my friend and son, Jose. Jose, Say Hey play of the day. How are you, my man?
I'm doing all right. Could be better, admittedly. I got it shoved down my hoop again last night. That was not a fun experience. However, things have changed, and I'm wearing my lucky shirt this time. The lucky shirt is on. We're going to win today. I can feel it.
Well, you're the only one that feels it, but at least one of us is feeling that, Jose. We're talking Royals, Tampa Bay Rays. Royals, Tampa Bay Rays. Jeremy Bendy says I joined right time in for some Jose beating. No, we don't want it to be like that. We want my son to I'm just so used to you losing, I can't even put it into words what we want to see, but we want to see him succeed. How about that? We want to see him succeed. And I believe in him. We have a very small sample size. We're talking Mike Minor versus Tyler Glasnow, Kansas City Royals at Tampa Bay Rays, Tropicana Field, St. Petersburg, Florida. Rays had their 11-game winning streak snapped last out, and it broke my spirits. I doubled up on them, and they lost 2-1. But Big Pitch Rich had a nice start, but that does nothing to satisfy me. Minus 193 it opens for the Rays. Under glass now at Pinnacle, now minus 196, 3-cent move towards them. This total opened up at 7. Juice pretty heavy to the over at minus 118. It's now minus 111, so a 7-cent move back to the under. Jose, take it away. Royals, Rays.
Well, first of all, Jimmy, I need you to call Rich Hill by his correct nickname of Dick Mountain. That's my first point of order here. His nickname is, in fact, Dick Mountain. And he pitched well last night, so congratulations to you. I hope you guys celebrated last night, but it didn't go your way. However, Jimmy, I'm gonna get us back right. Because I'm gonna give you the bet. I'm gonna lay out the case, and we're gonna do it all together, guys. Because I love first 5 unders. Connor Mack has taught me the way. They haven't been hitting for me because I think I've been looking at the wrong places. For some reason, I've realized that almost all these bets have been White Sox related, and my one that's hit has been Red Sox related. So I'm off the Sox. I've taken off my Sox, and I'm going to go first 5 under 3.5 here. Glasnow versus another stud, your boy here, Your boy, both these pitchers have been pitching well. I love Glass now. It's no surprise there. He added the slutter this year. The slutter has been great for him. I enjoy it very much. He's got excellent numbers against these guys. He's actually only faced a couple of these guys. A lot of times, Hanser Alberto 3 for 14. Andrew Benintendi, aka Benny Buttcheeks, is 1 for 9 with 5 Ks. Only person with multiple hits off of him. Whit Merrifield. Glasnow is also coming off a bad start, which is ideally where I kind of want him. Bounce back start. I'm a big proponent of that. He went 4 2/3, 9 hits, 5 earnings, 2 bombs, and only 2 strikeouts against your Toronto Blue Jays. So I definitely think he'll bounce back here, do well. Mike Minor on the other side. That's where I think concerns would be. Mike Minor, when is the shit going to hit the fan? When is Mike Minor going to stop being a miraculous miracle? Because my man has more gray hair out there than anyone in the league, and he's still doing it. But guess what? As I believe David Sharp started the Dirty K prop of the day, he likes Mike Minor today over strikeouts. I like that. That started giving me good vibrations there. 27th at home against lefties. The Rays are 218 average, only 10 home runs, which is 12th. Not ideal in our situation because 3.5 is a low number. But I love riding these low numbers. It's a little rush. You get a little tingle. Jimmy, it's called gambling for a reason, like we say. Mike Zunino, 1 for 12, 7 Ks. Manny Margot, 1 for 5. Yandy Diaz, 1 for 2. Has never faced a Rosarena, Meadows, Lau, Choi, or Wendell. So I like my chances here. I like the under. I almost went to Dodgers Astros, but I love this game, and I will be watching this because this is what diehard baseball fans watch. You get excited for a shitty baseball game at the Trop.
This is American League champions you're talking about.
Jose. Yeah, I had them to win the World Series last year. I had the ticket with them and the Dodgers, so I felt great. But they're just not the same anymore.
Under 3.5 at plus 103 is the best line that we can give our man Jose. There's Gas Station Sushi in the house. Great to see you, Gas. Jeff Slaughter has a question. Says, is it really gambling when you lose this much, or is it really just entertaining charity? It's you're not getting a lot of confidence building comments. Let me see if I can find one here.
I think you're going to be looking for a minute, Jimmy. Yeah. That's the issue here. That's the issue. But I don't need the positive comments, Jimmy. No. Because guess what? No one can say anything worse than you say to me and backstage behind the camera. So it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'm ready to go. Your inspiration every day is just it fuels me, Jimmy. It gives me my fire, and it makes me find these winners that I will find one day.
If I could open hand slap you, I would do it right now. I can't, sadly. I can do it verbally, which is
my favorite method.
What I have to hang my hat on. But my friend and son, Jose, we have a night. They call it a shy, youngish grin. Maybe that's the nicest thing I've heard somebody say about you.
Thank you, Nilo. I appreciate that. I'm going to be thinking about that in my nightmares tonight now, but I appreciate that.
John Nosebleed App says, this baby face in his mom's basement?
I'm actually in my mom's room, which is my room. So.
Oh, nice. Good score. Good score.
Yeah, it's big time.
Jose, God bless you.
Jimmy, I know I've left you speechless, and I can tell. And honestly, I think this has been the best segment we've had so far.
I don't think it's been the best segment we've had, but I respect your belief in your performance, and I will not be tailing you. And I can only hope that you will cash.
But Jimmy, my last thing here, don't let me get hot, Jimmy. Don't let me get hot.
I don't think we need to worry about that.
Jimmy, if I get hot, the whole fucking city of San Antonio is burning down. And we're going to fucking get these bookies, Jimmy. We're going to get them.
All right. Okay. I guess that's enough there. Say hey, play of the day from our man, Jose. All right. We just have a couple games left, and we're going to get into NBA here. Let's get after it. 7:30 p.m. Eastern, LA Dodgers 30-18, 14-12 on the road at Houston Astros, 26-22, 15-10 at home. We're at Minute Maid Park in Houston, Texas. And the roof is closed. The Dodgers put a beat down on the Astros yesterday. Do they do it again? Trevor Bauer, 5-2, 1.98 ERA, 0.77 WHIP, 63 2/3, 88 Ks, 18 walks, 8 homers. Does Bauer care about the grievances that have been put on by these Astros? I don't know if he cares. I don't know if Bauer cares about anything. He's a drone pilot, and drone pilots don't care about much. In his last start, he went 6 1/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 0 earned, 0 home runs, 4 walks, 11 Ks, and a 2-1 win at the Giants. Luis Garcia, 2-3, 3.38 ERA, 1.10 WHIP, 40 innings, 47 Ks, 15 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, he went 5 innings, on 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks, an 8-4 win at Oakland. The Dodgers are smashing righties, 260, 794 OPS. Astros are hitting righties pretty well. Just nothing compared to the way they hit lefties. 256, 734 OPS. Dodgers bullpen, these numbers are dropping fast. They're now becoming the bullpen that we'd expected them to be. 3.57 ERA, 1.34 WHIP, converted 17 of 31 save opportunities. And Astros bullpen, 4.25 ERA, 1.32 WHIP, and 9 of 18 save opportunities. Ilya Katz says Bauer is an alpha. I've never thought so. The only thing I've liked about Bauer is the way he wants bat flips and he wants excitement in the game. And I like that attitude there. Kevin Riley says, take the Dodgers minus 141. There's Chris Smith in the house. And David Sharp says, yes, Bauer cares. He made a shirt that made fun of the Astros. I think he gets up for this game. Playoff experience going on here. I know Dodgers have 5,000 fans at this game from Panton 294. Jose says, I can confirm Bauer does care, and he's been talking a lot of shit. Arthur Meade Jr. is Dodgers 7, Astros 4. Let's go to baseball data here and see what we're dealing with. Against Bauer, these Astros are hitting 226 with a 661 OPS, and only Pujols has seen Garcia. Let's take a look at the market move here and then make a decision. We have the first half total has gone from, it's still at 4.5 actually, but all the other books have moved it to 4 except for Bodog. Every other book has moved it to 4. Let's go to full game market moves, and we have this total opening up at 8.5, and all the books have moved it to 8 except for Pinnacle again. Still hanging the 8.5. And money line wise, we have Bauer opening up at minus 130. He's now minus 140. David Sharp says, why is the number so low? Seems like a trap. Shouldn't it be minus 180? Wesley Costa says, Bauer 4-0, 1.35 ERA. Minute Maid, he will rock tonight. Gregory Simmons also on Dodgers run line. It's fishy. But yesterday was insanely fishy with all the money on the Dodgers and the market moving towards the Astros. Does feel like the Dodgers are winning and going to keep winning. But Wesley Costa says, Dodgers run line, my favorite play today. Even if the game is close, Astros bullpen is good to give up 2 or 3. Why would Bauer and the Dodgers not be bigger favorites here? That's the question that I need to figure out. So, look, I don't know how you don't have a lean towards Dodgers, but I don't know what to do with this spot, man. It feels so fishy, like Sharpie's saying. David Sharp says all these stats say Bauer Cruz's smash righties. Astros penny up lines minus 140. Bauer's minus 180 versus the Brewers. All right, Gas Station says Dutch Boy Fresh coming on the show tonight. We hope so. Big horse racing show this evening. Wesley Costa says, I don't understand that either. Jimmy seems like great value. Let's move on to Padres, Brewers. Padres 31-18, 13-8 on the road. Milwaukee Brewers 24-24, 11-13 at home. We're at American Family Field in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I expect the roof to be closed. It's Chris Paddock going up against Adrian Hauser. Paddock 2-3, 3.96 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 36 1/3, 34 Ks, 11 walks, 3 home runs. In his last start, 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 0 home runs, 2 walks, 6 Ks, and a 16-1 win at home for Seattle. Hauser 3 and 5, 4.53 ERA, 1.40 WHIP, 43 and 2/3, 38 Ks, 20 walks, 8 home runs. In his last start, 4 innings, 5 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 home runs, allowed 4 walks, 4 Ks, 9-4 losses to the Reds. They hit them hard. Padres versus righties, 240, 714 OPS. Brewers versus righties, just 205, 636 OPS. Nobody hits righties worse than the Milwaukee Brewers. Padres bullpen, 2.47 ERA, 1.07 WHIP. This Brewers bullpen continues to look susceptible. 4.70 ERA, 1.35 WHIP. Let's go to baseball data. Martial arts fan looking at the Brewers. Gregory Simmons says over, right? Let's take a look. Against Paddock, 172, 529 OPS. Feels like Paddock, if he wants to get hot and start rolling some nice starts together, this is the spot. And Hauser, only 147 against Hauser and 422 OPS. Wow. Joseph Gomez says team total over for the Padres. Let's look what this market has done with this spot. The market has moved Paddock is a minus 125 down to minus 123. Oh, it's Lauer. Is it Lauer? Why do I have Hauser? Sorry, my fault. We have Lauer now. And Lauer is now the pitcher for the Brewers. So they're going up against a lefty. Sorry, my fault. Let's step back and take a look at what these Padres do to lefties. Padres are hitting 238 with a 699 OPS versus lefties. Very little power. Lauer is a former Padre. Lauer didn't have a job at one point and has got it back. Let's take a closer look at what Lauer has done because I backed him in one start and cashed. Let's go back to Lauer here. And we got to get an NBA very soon here. We just have one more game to cap. Lauer has had 2 starts, so he's been put back into the bullpen after he got hit hard at Philadelphia. Then he's come in out of the bullpen. He looked good against Miami, and he got hit hard against Atlanta. Bama Boy says, looks like a bullpen day. Let's see if there is a primary. No, they don't have a primary, but it probably is a quick hook. This, to me, feels like a spot where Paddock can continue his improved form. But I'm a little surprised. Let's see. David Sharp says, I've led the train to fade Paddock. Well, it's time to eat some crow. His 3.96 ERA is worse than his FIP at 3.25. Go on the other side. Lauer's 2.81 and the 5.58 FIP. Give me the Padres first 5 minus a half at plus 102. Stanley saying 5-2 final. I agree. I did not know Lauer was starting. I agree. I'm going to move on the Padres in a double-up spot, and I'm going to trust Paddock. Final game on the card, then we'll get into NBA, 9:40 p.m. Eastern. We have San Francisco Giants 29-19, 15-12 on the road at Arizona Diamondbacks 18-31, 9-10 at home. We're at Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. The roof is open, confirmed, open. 97 Fahrenheit, clear, 7 miles per hour in. We have Johnny Cueto going up against Merrill Kelly. Cueto 3-1, 3.34 ERA, 1.24 WHIP. He's been good this year. 32 1/3, 26 Ks, 6 walks, just 2 runs allowed. Last start, 5 innings, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 4 Ks, and then 19-4 win at the Reds. That was him going up against his old club. Merrill Kelly, 2-5, 5.05 ERA, 1.37 WHIP. I still believe he's better than what we've seen. He's coming off a loss at the Dodgers, and we know what the Dodgers do to righties, and he looked good. 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 home runs, 0 walks. Let's see what we're dealing with from a market perspective. This is the last game on the card, and then we have Trotwam joining us for NBA. And Cueto opening up at minus 125. He's now at minus 113. Let's just see what this first 5 total is here. Now it's going to be hot, and the ball can sail. And it's moved from 4.5 to 5. It's moved to 4.5 to 5. I guess that makes me uncomfortable. I don't have nice stats fading Cueto. But I want to be able to back Merrill Kelly in certain situations. Look at Cueto, 190, 523 against these Diamondbacks. And then Merrill Kelly, 328, 82 OPS. Okay, I'm staying off this spot. I'm staying off. All right. And Razor Sharp says, Tom and Razor Sharp Picks have entered the building. They are live at Delaware Park right now. And he says it's time for shots. All right, so let's go over my action here. I'm going to be on the Twins' first 5. I'm not sure if I'm going to go -0.5 or -1 in that 110 game starter. I'm backing the Oakland A's. I'm backing the A's. I'm going to take it full game, though, not first half. I want to go against this Mariners bullpen. And then not a lot of other action. I'm on first 5 over 4.5 in Cubs Pirates. I've made no bets before this day started. I'm very close to moving the first 5 under in Alek Manoah and Domingo Germán. I think I will do that. I have a lean towards the Indians in this Mackenzie Urena start, but David Sharp made some good points. I'll probably stay off. Jose's on the under 3.5 at +103. First 5 under 3.5 in the Royals Rays spot. I have a lean towards the Dodgers, but that's a really fishy line. And then Padres double up first 5 full game. Padres double up first 5 full game. Let's move on to NBA. And what a treat it is to bring on your next guest, OG Lowbagger and NBA expert and somebody that always lifts my spirits. Let's bring on our man and yours, Wham Bam, a.k.a. Chaw Wham in the house. Wham Bam, what up, my man?
What's up, Jimmy? What's up? You hear me loud and clear, bro? We good?
Yeah, you sound good, man.
Oh, yeah, bro. I'm feeling good, man. Glad to be back with you, man. Shout out to the Lowbaggers in the chat. All the money makers here, man. Feeling good, bro.
We have missed you dearly. Let's get right to work. This has been the worst NBA season by far that I've had. And
Likewise.
publicly, it hurts. And I did make one good move yesterday with Dennis Garcia's leadership. I moved on the Nets to beat the Celtics 4-0 at +200. So I'm thankful for that spot. But I'm just a mess. So let's fix this right now. We start at 7 p.m. Eastern. Game 2 of the East first round series between the Wizards, 34-38, 15-21 in the regular season at Philadelphia 76ers, 49-23, 29-7 at home. Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have this total opening up at 230.5. It's dropped a point to 229.5, but Pinnacle's already moved it to 229. Pinnacle and Heritage moved it to 229. And then Philadelphia opening up at -8. It looks like Pinnacle has moved it to 8.5. To 8.5. Here we go. Wizards, Sixers, Trotwam. Take it away.
Yes, so the Wizards had no business even being in that game, to be honest. Obviously, they did, cover the spread, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as the shooting, they shot 40% from 3 in that last game. Over the last 3 games before that, it was obviously some playing involved in there, the games that they're playing. But they shot 32% for the last 3 games. So I think they're going to be around in that 32 range. I don't think they're going to keep up with this 76ers team that, inside and out. I didn't expect them to get a game here. This is another sweep candidate, just like that Boston Celtics series. Thought that was a sweep candidate. I think this is another sweep candidate here. I think they take care of business. Do I think that they're going to cover the 8.5 or 8 for the 76ers? I do. But I think we're better off taking them early here. I think the first half is probably the best bet in this game, unless you're going to take some props like Tobias Harris. I could see him having a good points here. I think his total is at 15 to 16, if I'm not mistaken. But I haven't made a play on this game. I'm leaning here first half 76ers. But it's just kind of one of those games that I think we may be able to find more value, more discrepancies in between matchups in the later games. This game is good for me, but I'm only going to take the first half. I just only think the 76ers can pull it off in the first half. We know that the Wizards all year, they come back. They find a way to fight. Even though they shot well 40% from 3 last game, and I don't think that's going to happen. The thing that I do think that they're going to continue to do is get the points in the paint. They had 76 points in the paint that last game. I think that will be replicated. So I think we could mess around and have them starting off shooting bad, and we could cover this first half. That's the way I'm going to be leaning in this game.
Brian Warner says a lot of teams can win without a good field goal percentage. Wizards, not one of them. Love that look, Wham. Can also see a 4-0 series sweep. We have Teron Hopkins giving my props play of the day for the
I like that
spot here with Seth Curry. Says Curry over 2.5 threes. Curry's ranked second all-time in 3-point percentage. Washington 19th in opponent 3-point defense. He attempted 9 in game 1, so his opportunities will be there. From our guy, Tron Hopkins.
And I misspoke on the Tobias Harris. It's actually at 21 and a half.
Yeah, 21 and a half.
That's a big number. That's a big number. I thought it was at 17. Though.
I have it juiced to the over, and he's also coming off a playoff career high 37. So,
oh yeah, I know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I get hesitant. I just don't ever bet, but that is a playoff career high, not a career high. But I never back player props after a career high, and the ROI and going under is big. But playoff career high is a little different. Embiid 30 points despite foul trouble. Ben Simmons, talk to me about the defense that you saw Ben Simmons on Westbrook and Bradley Beal. Is he capable of shutting whoever he's matched up against down?
I think if you lock in, Ben Simmons is probably one of the best defenders in the league for sure. But the only problem is with that is that you're asking to take on a guy possession after possession after possession, along with still carrying the offensive load that he brings. I mean, come on, we got to put air quotes with the offensive load when it's talking about Ben Simmons. But I think he can do it though, Jimmy. I think he could do it. Just as far as because you got to think about it as well. Like this day and age is mostly about team defense rather than mano like what we raised. We're raised on mano a mano. Can you stick this guy? Can you guard this guy? That's not what we're seeing right now. It's more team defense. So as far as their team, I think they have it there, and they could, collectively be able to stop Bill and Westbrook. It's just going to be minimum damage, though, in my opinion, compared to what they're going to do down low. And I like that Curry 3-point prop, man. I think they're going to have some shooters here with Milton and Curry.
Westbrook went 16-14, and I don't have his rebounds in front of me, but I believe he had 5 rebounds. I believe.
Yeah, I got to put it up right here.
So the thought here is with Ben Simmons guarding him, I know that Ben Simmons will move over to Beal sometimes, but if he's guarding Westbrook, then
keep the rebounds down, huh?
Well, and I've got 10.5 rebounds here for Westbrook, heavily juiced to the over. Is that if Simmons is on Westbrook for 30 minutes of the game, how is Westbrook going to get to double-digit rebounds?
Yo, I love that look. A lot of his rebounds are when no one is around anyway. So if you got a guy sticking on you, that's guarding you, pretty much man on man, he's going to try to box you out. And this guy's way bigger than him, like you're saying. And he did have 5 rebounds that last game. I love that look, actually, bro. I just didn't really, it's a lot of angles. This is the reason why we work together, man, because there's a lot of angles that we could find together. And that makes sense, dude. 5 rebounds last game. I mean, as far as their team in general, they got they out rebound them by 1, but they lost the offensive board battle by about 6 offensive boards. So they're plus 6 on the offensive boards for the 76ers there. I like that look though. I like that look, bro.
Why do you think it would be juiced so heavy to the over? Is my fear, because it's at minus 135 to the over, minus 105 to the under. Is it possible that Simmons will move and guard Bradley Beal, and then is that the issue there?
No, I think they're going to have Matisse Thybulle and Bradley Beal. That makes the most sense because you're saying I don't think situational what you're saying. If he's guarding Bradley Beal, that's going to hurt us right there because I don't think we're going to get the same rebound production from Matisse Thybulle. You know what I mean? He's mostly trying to run down and get the 3, get a corner, go to wide open 3. So I would think that Ben Simmons is guarding him though, bro, because if you're thinking about a guy that's going to be attacking all the time, full court as far as transition, you want a bigger body that could try to slow down Westbrook. I think you got to get Ben Simmons on him for the full game. But you know how it is, bro. That could be one of the things that they found out. I didn't do any reading on it as far as what they're anticipating the adjustments to be. But I don't think Doc changes anything. I mean, we know that from the Clippers last year, from anything. He's not going to change anything. I think we could stick to the guns with their game plan for 76ers.
And by the way, Dutch Boy Fresh is probably going to go back to the well with Curry, a points prop over 13.5 as well. Very, very, very interesting. So in an official pick, not at this point in this game, you're looking at the other two?
No, I'm looking at the first half. Yeah, I'm looking at the first half here. It's mostly like a lean that I haven't played yet, but the other 2 games I got action on already.
Let's move on to 7:30 p.m. Eastern. East first round game 2 Atlanta. Hawks 41-31 during the regular season, 16-20 on the road at the New York Knicks, 41-31, 25-11 we're at Madison Square Garden in New York. Oh, I didn't give the pace for the first series, but that pace was at 101.5 possessions a game. That's the fastest pace of any of the playoff games. The pace is drastically slowed in the playoffs, which is something that we've come to expect. This pace was slow, 93.5 possessions a game. If you're looking at very slow pace, that Clippers Mavs game 1 was 87.5, and then of course they go wild in game 2. Here we go. Hawks, Knicks, Atlanta opening up as 2.5-point dogs. They're now 2-point dogs. This total opened up at 212 and is down to this total opened up at 214 is now at 212.5, going down 1.5 points. Trae Young silenced all the naysayers and the chants from the crowd. 13 points in the fourth, went for 32, 10, and 7. Atlanta goes 5 of 7 from 3. Bogdanovich 3 of 4, and big threes for Bogdanovich. Julius Randle off night, 6 of 23, 15 points. He had averaged 37.3 points, 12.3 rebounds, 6.7 assists against him in the regular season. RJ Barrett, 6 of 15 for 14 points. It was Alec Burks doing all the damage in the fourth quarter. And now Nerlens Noel sustained an ankle injury, so it could be a lot of Taj Gibson, some Norvel Pell. Elfrid Payton, you guys know, if you've got with me, that I have no faith in this man whatsoever when push comes to shove and games start to be important. So he missed 3 shots, played 8 minutes, and then Thibodeau put him on the bench, which is where he belongs. Here we go. Hawks, Knicks, Wham, take it away.
Now, these are slower on the pace side of things. I think we were mentioning that on the last one, that these guys are on the lower part, 93 and a half for both these teams over the last game. And you anticipate that. I mean, obviously, not having Nerlens Noel is going to hurt them rim protection-wise because he's big as far as blocking shots, helping the weak side help at the rim for the New York Knicks. I just think that Julius Randle may continue to have a struggle this series here because he's getting guarded by, one of my favorite players on the Hawks is DeAndre Hunter, who is back, healthy, still not offensively doing what he can do, what I know he's capable of. The other guy that we know that's offensively capable is Alec Burks. I think he could have been doing that all year for this New York Knicks team, but he was battling injuries. I think we could kind of see him doing something like that for the next couple of games, but doing it back-to-back games is going to be tough. Having Julius Randle not being that productive because that's one of their workhorses there. I didn't have any faith in this team getting out of this round, to be honest with you. I just think that the Atlanta Hawks are just – if they have – as much as you like the story about the Knicks, I think the Atlanta Hawks story is just a slight bit better based off of the additions that they may have had in the offseason, firing their coach, having that streak when the coach got hired, and along with these guys, battling injuries. Now, I've seen that Trae Young, Dad said that Trae Young likes being a villain in Madison Square Garden, so you should expect him to have another good game here. Last game, though, I don't think he went off like I was anticipating him to do as far as taking advantage of the matchup wise, but he did have 32 points, almost a triple-double at 7 rebounds. I think that we're going to see that consistently from Trae. I think DeAndre Hunter, I think John Collins is probably the main guy that I'm going to be watching here in this game. So I took the Hawks here, money line. I'm thinking about taking John Collins over as well. But I'm going to stay away from the John Collins just because I just think it's going to be more so trying to key in defensively and allowing Trae Young to cook. So I'm going to stay away from that. But I'm taking the Hawks here. I just don't think that it's a bad matchup for this Knicks, man. I think if you got Julius Randle out there on the island, he can't do anything by himself. You're going to see RJ Barrett and those other guys there, but I just don't have faith in them being able to do it, 4 more times here. So I think that we're going to get the back-to-back win for the Hawks. Maybe they could steal one in Atlanta, but I think it may be curtains after the night, bro.
Wow. Very, very interesting breakdown. Hawks, Knicks, Hawks money line for our Trot Wham. Let's move on to the final game on the card, and then Mr. Gokster will be joining us for NHL playoff action. First round West game 2, Memphis Grizzlies at Utah Jazz. We have Vivint Smart Home Arena in Salt Lake City, Utah. Pace here in game 1, 98 possessions in the game. Jazz expected to have Donovan Mitchell ready to go. Mitchell missed 16 games, final 16 games of the regular season, and he's going to change this flow and the series drastically. But the whole issue here was the paint.
Yes.
as always. And that's the spot where Memphis dominates. 62-42 in the paint. They outscored them. 16 offensive rebounds for Memphis. They took 100 shot attempts to 81 shot attempts. So the question is, how much will Donovan Mitchell change all of this? Utah opening up as 8-point favorites. They're now 9.5-point favorites. His total's gone from 217 to 219. Very interesting spot here. Last playoff game on the card. Trotwam, take it away.
Yeah, man. I can only go with Utah here. Having that bad stretch of 3-point shooting definitely is the reason why they lost. They shot in that game. What was it? It was 25% from 3, 12 from 47. Man, they shot 27 more threes than the Grizzlies. But once you hit the hammer on the head, I mean, the nail with the hammer, man, whatever that favorite phrase says. But 62 points in the paint, man, that's hard to overcome for any team, especially a team that's not shooting the three well. We know that's the game plan. So even though they had 11 blocks, which they were, which is the most any team in the playoffs so far, they had 11 blocks. So Rudy Gobert and those guys were down there. You know what I mean? It's just that they weren't down there enough, or they weren't down there, or they weren't scaring anyone, or, getting those guys out of there. I just think that when you think about the team matchup wise, I like Memphis in this matchup, to be honest. I just think that once those threes are starting to fall, that's the separation is going to happen, because threes are more than twos. It's just simple math there. So I think that Utah is the play here. I think they win by double digits here. I'm taking Utah minus the 9. I got them at 9 here. I think you have to get them at 9.5 now, if I'm not mistaken. But I take them at 9.5 here. I think we win by double digits there. Donovan Mitchell is going to be a help morale-wise and just shot-making-wise. They need those guys to make more shots here. So I'm anticipating him coming back and not normally be detrimental to the team like you usually see in stars. I think he comes back and cooks up for him.
Dutch Boy Fresh says, love it, Wham. Let's have motherfucking day. Stay up, fellas. Let me ask you this, Wham. We know that Dylan Brooks has been excellent through this drive to get into the playoffs, and it was unbelievably good in game 1, 31 points. And now he has to guard Donovan Mitchell, who has gone off on him. So Mitchell, 35 points in the 2 games he's faced. Brooks, 24 of 40, 10 of 14 from 3. And Brooks is the league leader in fouls.
Yeah, so, I was mentioning that too, yeah.
Do we think that the under 19.5 points for Dylan Brooks is a bet, or is he coming into his own right now and this is his showcase spot?
I love that idea. He is coming to his own, though. He is coming to his own, being a defensive prowess. But like you mentioned, man, it does come with a price, because he's fouling nonstop. And honestly, on that Utah team in the first game, other than, let's say, Joe Ingles or Bogdanovich, you don't think anyone that could get to the foul line. You know that this guy's going – I mean, as far as Clarkson as well, but you know that that's going to be the main point of emphasis. If the shots aren't falling, you're going to see Donovan Mitchell attack the rim. And I think you're going to get this guy in early foul trouble here. But as far as me betting on that, I don't want to do that, because he can foul for sure. But he's gonna have a lot on his plate today, not along with just coming off of switches and guarding head on with Donovan Mitchell. I wouldn't take the over though. I mean the under though, just because he's been a big key for those guys. And I remember writing a stat for him. If he scores 21 points, they win mostly of the time early in the year. So I'll leave that one alone, just because I actually think he has the upside.
Do you agree with this market move towards the over?
Talking about the full total, right?
Yeah, 217.5 to 219.
Yeah, I like that, honestly. I like that, honestly. And honestly, that was going to be my play here. But I just like Utah a little bit more. I think they're going to stop those guys getting in the paint, so that may hurt the over there. But I think the threes are going to fall for both teams here. As far as Utah, go ahead.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but if you think that the Jazz could smack the Grizzlies, then would you focus your over on the first half just in case the Jazz are up big?
Yeah, I want to say I seen a number there for the Grizzlies on that. Let me double check here. If I'm not mistaken. But I think the first half would be okay. It's just that if you're going to like the first half, I'm not sure how much difference is it between. I think it's almost like about, I didn't look at it, but I think it's about 104 points different.
107.5
1 second.
Here, so the first half's 107.5, and the full game's 218.5. So it's a 3-point difference.
I think you're just better off doing the full game, bro. I think you're probably better off doing the full game here. Even though the second half's been trending towards unders, second half unders have been cash. I've been noticing that in the playoffs as well. But.
And this could be a tired Grizzlies group playing at altitude. What if they just let go after being up, splitting the series, which is what they wanted? Very, 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 very interesting. Robert Allen saying Grizzlies getting 9.5 is crazy with Mitchell coming back. He says he's on Memphis plus 9.5. What a wildly exciting night of basketball ahead of us. Okay, let's go over official picks from our Trot Wham in NBA tonight. Take it away, Wham.
Yeah, I'm taking the Utah Jazz -9, and I'm also going to take the money line for the Hawks. I got that plus 110 money line last night, so I think you get even money. We'll just lock it in at even money line for Hawks for the official plays there. And I'm leaning the first half 76ers too, bro. So that might make my card, but right now I haven't made it yet.
I love it. Well, please tag me when you tweet out your action so that I can retweet it as well and get it out to everybody. Brian Warner says, take the full game, take the late foul line. No, I'm the opposite, Brian. I'm concerned if there's a lot. I know that Robert Allen's on the other side, but if there's a lot of cappers who think this could be a Jazz blowout, then there will be no foul shooting at the end of the game. So that's my thoughts there. There's Boston, Nick in the house. Turnsy giving you love. Wham Bam. Wham Bam, where can they find you on Twitter?
Yeah, Trot Wham on Twitter. And follow me on Who Bangin' Sports Talk YouTube channel. The show every Wednesday at 2:30.
And today is that very day. So check them out. Is that 2:30 Pacific?
Pacific time, my apologies. Yes, 5:30 Eastern Standard Time, 2:30 Pacific time.
Sweet, absolutely. We will 2:30 Pacific, so 5:30 today Eastern. We have Who Bangin' Sports Talk starring Wham Bam. For me in NBA right now, I like Teron Hopkins' look on Curry over 2.5 threes. And I can understand. I just don't really want to double up, but I can understand. I mean, if he's going to hit over 2.5 threes, he's going to go over 13.5 points. I mean, is that a double up spot? I mean, oh, God. And then Westbrook under 10.5 rebounds.
I like that, man.
But it just the market scares the shit out of me watching it. So juiced to the over. And then the Hawks Knicks scares me, man. I think I'm just going to.
You know what I would say, though, on that market move? The market move yesterday was going totally against me yesterday with the over in the Clipper game. Man, if that shit wasn't as wrong as possible, bro. That shit was over by the first quarter down there. The pace was already there. So
fast.
Yeah, man. It's one of those things that I'm trying to stay away from the market, like not be market blind. But I understand this look there with the over, just because if they switch it and making adjustments, which I'm saying there, Jimmy, Doc doesn't make adjustments, bro. He just doesn't. So I understand though, but I'm right there with you, brother. Wish you all the best, my G. You already
Thank you, my guy. And then I'm gonna take the first half over 107.5 in Memphis, Utah Jazz. Wham Bam, my man. Thank you so much for joining us. We need you more often on the show. We miss you.
Most definitely, bro. Anytime, bro. Holla at you guys.
I love it. There he is, Trot Wham in the house. We move over to NHL, and God, I wish I had followed through with my under. I didn't. I only took the Leafs team total under 3 plus 112, and that hurt me. That hurt me bad. I'm not right now in NHL. I came in to NHL confident on came into the playoffs confident on a big run, and that has fallen apart. Let's bring in our NHL expert, Mr. Gokster, coming to us live from Belleville, Ontario, Canada. Mr. Gokster, what's happening, man? Oh, there you are. What's happening, my man?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Great to see our guy Trot Wham on the NBA. That was awesome. And Jim, Toronto, Montreal's defense, it's a problem, and their offense. I wish we knew they weren't going to come out to play, because they just were flat as hell that game. Pretty embarrassing. I'm a Toronto guy, so I love the outcome there, Jim. But didn't see that one coming, brother.
Yeah, it was. I felt like the style of play that we were watching was what I expected. I just thought it was slow. I mean, Galchenyuk going off, I didn't expect. Spezza continues to play so well, and he looks like he's got wheels out there. I want to turn this around in NHL. So let's get rolling right now. We start at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Pittsburgh Penguins 37-16-3, 15-12-1 on the road during the regular season, going to Nassau Coliseum in Long Island. And our Dommy Gun Ricci will be there live watching the game. What a treat it will be for him. The Islanders 32-17-7 at home this year, 21-4-3. I have Barclays Center here in Brooklyn, New York, but I know that's not. I know it's Nassau.
Yeah.
So let me just get that. All right, let's take a look at this spot here and take a look at the market moves here, Gokster, and then I will hand it off to you to take it away. And there's Dommy in our chat.
Hey, what's up, Dommy?
There he is. So the Islanders opening up at -105 at Pinnacle. They're now at -106. So not a huge belief here that the Penguins are going to keep their season alive. This total opened up at 5.5, -135 to the under. You can now get that under at Pinnacle at -130. So a slight move towards the over at 5.5. The Pittsburgh Penguins power play and penalty killing has been very similar to what it was like in the regular season. Regular season 23.7, 77.4. Playoffs 20, 78.6. So there's nothing to blame there. Same with the Islanders, very similar. The issue is one thing, and that is goaltending. Sorokin looks incredible. 48 shots he saved, franchise playoff record for a goaltender. And Jari, that clearing attempt was
right to the stick. Can't get a better tape-to-tape pass right there.
Is inexcusable. And I know up here in Canada that Ethan Bear is getting a ton of heat up here for his giveaway. And, he's handling it with such class. And, we don't have enough First Nations players representing and being in the NHL. And I hate seeing Ethan Bear taking the heat, as he is it's just a huge – he's looked up to by so many people, especially 100%. In the First Nations community. So I don't like Ethan Bear taking heat. I really like the kid. But Jari deserves a slap in the face. The Penguins are dominating parts of this game, Gokster. They outshot New York 20-4 in the second period alone. And there was worse than that. Like, there was worse spots there where they were just completely dominating.
Yeah.
How do you see Game 6? Take it away.
So, just like you said, they were dominating. Sorokin was standing on his head, guys. This series, he's 3-0 with a .951 save percentage, 1.66 goals against. So he's been the reason why these Islanders, not just their defensive play, but he stopped this Pittsburgh Penguins, as you guys know, with Crosby, Malkin back, Gensel, Zucker. They're very experienced here. So it's been really impressive what this guy's done, Sorokin. I actually got some more stats for you on this guy. He's 53-17 in the playoffs since 2017. That's going back to the KHL and in the NHL. So this guy knows how to win in the playoffs. 53-17 is no joke. So I don't see him really slowing down here. Originally, guys, I did bet the over. I even bet it at 5.5. Now I'm going to retract on that one, and I am going to take the Islanders. Reason being, looking back on Jari, guys, in the playoffs, we're kind of seeing how he's falling apart. He's 3 wins and 7 losses dating back to 2015 in the AHL and now the NHL. So he's had weaker competition, has not succeeded like Sorokin has, and it's going to be at home. The Coliseum is going to be rocking. I like the way as much as Pittsburgh came all over them there, guys, defensively, this is a New York Islanders team you can trust. They got 4 lines that are really deep, picking up Palmieri and Zajac on that third line with Peugeot. It's a really deep, very solid team. Nothing bad to say. They've scored 7 goals, only allowed 3 in the last 2 games. I look for the Islanders. If they don't win this one, guys, I think Pittsburgh will win it back at home. So I look for the Islanders to win this one. As much as I want to bet the over, Jim, I think this is an Islanders line, -105, 106. Sign me up.
So we have a similar game at the end of the night with Vegas going into Minnesota. A lot of similarities. And if you take the goalies out of it, which is a ridiculous thing to say, the Penguins are just playing better, and you could say they're a better team, and you can't really, if you can't include the goalies, but what do you think the bounce back will be from the Pittsburgh Penguins, let's say first period? Do you think that they come out and dominate like they did in the second period, like they did in parts of this game?
You see, that's why I wanted to take the over right away, because I thought Pittsburgh would come out firing here. As good as Sorokin's been, I did think this would be more of an over game. If it did go over, guys, I think this would be a Pittsburgh win. But the more I thought about it, Jim, I don't think Pittsburgh is going to win this one. So Islanders want to win this game. They're going to have to lock down. It's tough for how well Pittsburgh looked the last game, just like you said in the second period. But on the road and playing at the Coliseum here, it's going to be rocking. Our guy Dom's going to be there too. It's hard to see the Islanders losing this game, Jim. And the line kind of is shaky. I would think this line should be even minus 115, 120 on the Islanders, the way they've been looking. Even though, as you said, Pittsburgh looked really good last game, I can't shake this Islanders team. They've looked really good coming down the stretch here. And Pittsburgh, like we can't. What can we? They're old. McCann, Carter, Freddie Gauthier, Malkin, Crosby, Rust, Aston Reese, Bluger. I'm not a big fan of as good as Pittsburgh look, guys. I just think this Islanders team's rocking. I can't shy away from it, Jim. I like the line, and I think it does stay under if the Islanders win.
A lot of sense being made there, but if you're liking the over and you said I think it stays under if the Islanders win, does kind of
I know
isn't congruent.
The more I've thought about it, like at first I did want to take the over there with just thinking Pittsburgh would come out, but the more you think about it, the Islanders and the way just they're with Trotz there, the way Sorokin's looked defensively at home, I could be a sucker here, Jim, but it all makes sense for me for the Islanders. Who knows? The Pittsburgh could come up here 1-0, but it's just these Islanders teams rocking. And with this addition of Zajac and Palmieri with Peugeot, it's been firing. I can't shy away from the Islanders, Jim. I don't think you can talk me off it.
No, and I don't want to, and I get it. I think that it's going to be a very tight affair. So I lean towards
playing too. I can't. He's been the hottest goalie in the league right now in the playoffs.
And when Jari had that terrible game one with his glove hand, he came back in game two.
Yeah, stayed under.
And it stayed under. So I'm going to take Pittsburgh first period. The longer this game goes, the better the Islanders' chances are. I could understand live betting the Islanders if Pittsburgh goes up 1-0.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But I'm going to take the the Penguins first period, and I'm going to look very closely at the under. I don't want there might be too much juice associated with it, but I'm going to take the Penguins first period and going to focus on the under 5.5, but I don't want a minus 130, and it could be worse than that. So you know what I think I'll do, actually? I think if I'm going to move on the under, I'm going to take it at 5 at plus money.
Yeah. I wouldn't take the 5.5 at minus whatever.
Yeah.
135. Yeah, I like that 5 plus money. Even it's a tough game, guys, but my original look was the over. Changing it up, I do think the Islanders win this game, lock them down. If Pittsburgh comes up here 2-0, the under is going to be in trouble because I think Islanders are going to come back. But Sorokin, I can't fade this guy. I'm not fading Sorokin. I can't do it.
I get it. I completely get it. But I think Pittsburgh answers. Let's move on to 8 p.m. Eastern, and we have 9 minutes before the big Babano CMAC baseball show. 8 p.m. Eastern, Florida Panthers 37-14 and 5, 17-9-2 on the road. At Tampa Bay Lightning 36-17 3, 21-7-0 at home. And Spencer Knight.
Wow.
Shades of a young Patrick Waugh leading the Habs to the 1986 Stanley Cup. It was an incredible performance. Allowing the first goal and then saving every other shot was spectacular.
Yeah, I had that first period over. I was laughing. Then all of a sudden I was not.
And a shutout for USA in the World Junior Gold Medal game against Canada. He just steps up when he needs to. The 7th youngest goaltender to appear in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So Lumley, Tommy Barrasso, that run that Barrasso had was so much fun. Bill Ranford, Grant Fuhr, Don Beaupre, Marty Brodeur all debuted at 19 years old. He's the youngest goalie in NHL history to make a playoff debut in an elimination game, and he was absolutely spectacular. Some sad news coming out in America right now, and hate seeing that. Sorry to read that. But let's stay focused on NHL.
Hugh Carpenter, baby. That's right.
Right now, here we go. Lightning opening up at -137. They're now -132. A 5-cent move towards the Panthers. This total opening up at that was first period. My apologies. The total is that opening up at 6. It's been a 5-cent move towards the over from a plus money to a minus money, but barely. And the Lightning opening up at -145, they're now -137. So an 8-cent move towards the Panthers there. Take it away. Very, very, very interesting spot here. Panthers have momentum, and now they go to Amalie Arena in Tampa Bay, Florida.
Can't say enough about this series, Jim. Series of the playoffs so far. Going back a little bit farther here for our guy Knight. Boston College, he was .931 save percentage and a 1.97 goals against. Following year, .932, 2.18, 23-8, 16-4. Then, as Jim said, went to the World Juniors, 5-1 with a 1.63 record. Shut out Team Canada. This guy is the real deal. I watched him play too. He's super quick. How do I say this? He's slowing down Kucherov and Stamkos with those one-timers, Jim. He's there every time. He moves so quick post to post. This guy is really something special. How is he going to look on the road against Tampa Bay, who are going to be coming out flying here? That's going to be another question. They made a couple lineup changes in Florida. They put Montour on the third line with Yandel now and Frosling with Gudas. I do like that a little bit better. I didn't like Yandel and Gudas together. I thought that was a weak matchup. But overall, I'm going to take the first period under here. Going against the grain, it's +113. The way Florida's look behind Knight, Jim, I really like it. Knight's smooth between the pipes there. Vasilevsky, I expect a better performance here. He's since 2017, 32-15. He's a great playoff goalie. 3-2, .919 save percentage. I just think this is going to stay under here, guys. I love the way Knight's been playing. Vasilevsky, slow this game down. It's not going to look. This series is going to look the same with Bobrovsky and Drieger and net. I think we're getting a steal with the unders. If this goes to game, I think it's going to go game 7 too. I lean towards Florida, and I think we even see a 5.5 if we do.
Well, very, very interesting breakdown. Turnsy loving that look. I'm very hesitant to get in the way of Spencer Knight. Slatsy, though, says one NHL played Knight, Lightning -140. Lightning have now seen Knight. Will be focused to avoid game 7. This is when their experience comes into play. This is going to be very, very exciting. But I don't want to dwell on this spot. I'm going to stay off and watch it
Yeah, I'm going to live bet this game. I hope to hit this first period under. I expect to hit this first period under and kind of see where it goes there, guys. Really good website I'm going to give you guys here, moneypuck.com. Check that out. Great live updates throughout the game. Let you know how the situational stats are going.
9 p.m. Eastern next up, Golden Knights, Minnesota Wild, Xcel Energy Center, St. Paul, Minnesota. Here we have this Knights team. And look, I want the Knights to play – I want the Wild to play the Knights as tough as possible because I've got all the Avalanche futures. I'm so happy this is going to game 6. But the Wild, 0% power play so far in the playoffs. The Knights outshot Minnesota 40-14. 33-7 over the final 2 periods. High danger chances 16-5. Overall shot attempts 83-32.
Yeah.
The road team 4-1 in this series. Wild has scored 4 goals in the first 4 games.
I think we're on the same side here.
I see the Knights as a better team. And now, look, these guys aren't used to having full houses. And there was pressure on the Knights to succeed. It was Wild in there. Now it's going to be crazy in Minnesota. Can the Wild do the job? I don't know how at this point. And when we went back to Minnesota, I was like, look, I want Minnesota to win so badly, so I won't bet it. But I think Vegas is going to take care of business. I think this is a cheap price for Vegas with all the pressure coming in. But there's been a blatant market move towards Minnesota. Take it away here. We only have a few minutes. Wild Knights.
Well, this is going to be a wild one here. I think it's going to be over, though, guys. Vegas to clear him out. There's some injury issues here with Bonino and Foligno, Jim. Foligno didn't play much of that last game, so he could be out as well. They've called up this guy, Matt Boldy. He was a top 10 prospect in the Hobie Baker Award there for prospects. So this guy's pretty good. They're calling up, so he's probably going to be going. With that being said, it's going to be too much, I think, for Minnesota here. Fleury's look great. Talbot, how long? I don't think he can keep doing this, Jim. The shot advantage was too much last game. Vegas don't want this to go, they do not want this to go game 7.
Wow.
Just like Jim said, it's not going to be at home. Pressure, if anything, is going to be more on Minnesota. They know they got to win this one. Crowd's going to be there. I don't think it's going to happen. Injuries. Minnesota's falling apart at the finish line is the best way to put it, and Vegas are going to clean them up. So I actually, you know what? I took the money line and I took regulation, Jim. I think Vegas are going to wipe them. I even lean towards the over here for Vegas team total. I think Vegas got all over them.
Dennis Garcia says Minnesota's given Vegas problems all year. Minnesota's minus 110-ish at home in games 3 and 4. Now plus 115-ish. How in the world does that make sense? It's just from the eye test, Dennis. I mean,
falling apart too, Dennis. Like defensively, they're also without Susie. I didn't say they're without Susie. Called up a guy, Addison. Yikes. And
that second period, Afalam, I know that you love John Morant. Just try not to spam here, please. 23-1, they outshot the Wild in the second period. 9-0 in high danger chances.
Yeah, no, it's too much. I just have a hard time seeing Vegas do not want this going game 7, Jim. Give me Fleury all day. He let up a couple of weak ones not weak ones, but early goals in the first, and then Vegas looked really good in second and third period. Overall, guys, it's a team falling apart. Minnesota at the finish line. I want Vegas, and Vegas, just like you said, Jim, they don't want to go 7 games with Colorado knocking on their door.
Dennis says falling apart. They were protecting a lead. They didn't need goals. They needed not to give up any. They succeeded.
True. What I meant was just by their players. Like Susie's out now. They also have Benino and Foligno who are banged up. Those are 2 important forwards. So they're kind of they're scraping their way up, and they're calling up this young guy. He could be a spark, Dennis, but we'll see. I just think player-wise, they're kind of falling apart.
I love what the Wild have done in the series, but how long can you keep taking on this pressure and hitting 0% on the power play? So I'm going to move on Vegas to finish off the series at -1.
Let's do it.
And I'm interested, Dennis. I guess what Dennis is saying, because you said you watched Pittsburgh dominate the Islanders. How could you trust the Islanders here? But I guess he's saying that the Wild just give Vegas problems.
Yeah, and in that case, I think the Islanders are a much better defensive team. They're healthy. They got a much better goalie in Sorokin than Talbot. So, yeah.
I like it. Okay, I know what I'm doing now in NHL here. I'm going to be on Pittsburgh first period, and I'm going to now move this Pens Islanders spot with the total. I'm going to take a good look at what I get price-wise at 5 with the total at 5. Take a good look. And then I'm going to be on the Golden Knights -1 here. Gokster, could you please review your NHL and then let us know where we can find you?
Yes, for sure, guys. We'll be quick here. One of the guys says, what's the lock here, boys? You know what? I'm going to actually take Florida Tampa Bay first period under. I think this is going to be a slow game. I think we're getting a really nice number there, guys. That's my favorite play. I also really like Vegas, as we just went over. Vegas regulation and money line. Team total also will lean. And Pittsburgh, New York Islanders, this is the toughest game for me. I am going to take the Islanders. And I had to lean to the over, but we're taking that off the card. Find me on guys on Twitter, Eagle47_. I give it all my NHL, MLB, KBO, PGA. And thanks for having me on, Jim. We'll do this again tomorrow and hopefully have some more money in our pockets.
Can't wait to my man, Mr. Gokster, coming to us live from Belleville, Ontario. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Head over to Babano and CMAC. They are next up. That show's going on right now. It's just started right now. So head over, go to MLB Best Bets. Mr. Gokster, can you leche us out of here?
Ooh, do a little leche. Elos, bookmakers. Get that cash, guys. Let's go.
Where's the bang bang, Preston? Come on.
I can't breathe.
Pub Sports Radio. Come find us in Southtown 101. Subscribe on YouTube and all platforms where podcasts are found.